Coming off a big win in Pittsburgh, the New York Jets return home to host the Miami Dolphins as they look to go over 500 for the first time this season. It's not his first time doing our weekly Jets preview, but New York Post Jets beat writer Brian Costello. He joins me now. Brian, how's it going?
I'm good, Dexter. How are you?
I'm doing good, better than most Mets fans are probably doing today, but that's a whole nother story. We look at the Jets. It wasn't a perfect week 4 for Zach Wilson, but he did lead a game-winning drive at his season debut in Pittsburgh. So how much better is this Jets offense with him under center?
Yeah, well, he adds a dimension, Dexter, that they didn't have with Joe Flacco, obviously. He can escape the pass rush. So if things don't go well there and there is some pressure, he can get out of it. And you saw that a bunch in Pittsburgh. Now, look, the first 3 quarters were not great. He completed 8 out of 24 passes. He had 2 interceptions. One of them was off of a receiver's hands. The fourth quarter, though, he came up huge when they needed him to. 10 of 12 or 128 yards, two touchdown drives in the fourth quarter to take the lead. So if they can get him to play like he did in the fourth quarter again, the offense is a lot better. If it's more like the first 3 quarters, I think, like I said, he adds that dimension of escapability, but there were other things that were kind of troubling in those first few quarters.
Yeah, Jets fans want to see if he can put a complete game together. We will see if that happens in week 5. Now, after struggling for the first 3 weeks of season, the Jets safety group, they produced 3 interceptions last week against the Steelers. Over or under, Brian, Gang Green recording 2 INTs versus Teddy Bridgewater and the Dolphins?
You got to give me a half here, Dexter. Is it 2.5? Is it?
You know what? You're right. I gotta give you a half. Let's do 2.5 since they had 3 last week. Let's go with that.
All right, I'll go under on 2.5. Okay. Yeah, I can see 1 or 2. Teddy Bridgewater does not throw a ton of interceptions. He's pretty conservative with the ball. I think this Miami offense, obviously, we'll see how healthy Tyreek Hill is. We'll see how healthy Jalen Waddle is. Both have been on the injury report this week, so that's something to watch. But they obviously stretch the field with those guys, and there should be some opportunities for the safeties and the corners to come up with some picks. But I'll go under. I don't think they'll have more than 2.
All right, we got the under there. Now I know. Definitely got to give Brian that half every time we do these over-unders. Now, Brian, I don't think you've picked the Jets to win once yet
not
this
true,
season.
Dexter. Not true.
Is this not true?
Not true. Yeah, I mean, you sound like these typical Jets fans. You say, "Oh, you hate the team. You never pick them." I picked them to beat the Ravens.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That was a bad pick. I picked them to beat the Browns.
Okay.
And I had it the whole way. That worked out well.
That worked out well.
I have not picked them the last few weeks. So I picked them in the first 2 games to win. Yeah.
And you know what the Jets fans are going to say? Like, what have you done for us lately, Brian? Last couple of weeks you haven't got it. But okay, you've made the picks before. You've given them love. I won't have the Jets fans come for you. Right. What are the keys to Gang Green recording a win over the Fins in week 5?
I think it's, obviously on defense, slowing down those receivers, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Can they, not give up the explosive plays to them? We saw that early in the season, the Jets gave us some big plays, right, to the Bengals, to the Ravens. They can't give up those big plays to the Dolphins, and they've got to try to keep this a game where give them stuff underneath, let them run the ball, but do not give up those explosive plays. And then on offense, like we talked about, can Zach Wilson look more like the guy in the fourth quarter than the guy in the third quarter? Can he complete the easy passes? Can he keep the ball moving, keep the chains moving? Just be efficient on offense. And I think if they do that, they can win. And the Dolphins are very banged up, Dexter. They've got a lot of injuries. Teron Armstead at the left tackle is injured. Waddle and Hill are injured. Xavier Howard is injured. So they're missing. They might be missing some pieces in this game, and the Jets could take advantage of that.
Could take advantage. But, Brian, are you picking them to win this week? Is that happening?
No, I am picking. I'm going Dolphins. I think it'll be a close game. Dexter, I think it'll be a really good game. I think I'm going Dolphins 28-20 in the end. I think it'll be a good game into the fourth quarter.
Dolphins 28, Jets 20. That's the pick from Brian Costello. Don't come for him, Jets fans. He's a great beat writer for the Jets for the New York Post. Brian, thanks for your time as always. Appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, Dexter.